Hello. Hi. It is Warlock time. According to the email, it is not my main. Apparently, I'm a hunter main. Ugh. Um, I don't know. I think I just like Golden Gun. Anyways, we're moving on to Warlock. Aspects Arc Soul. You use your Rift, you get an Arc Buddy. Arc Buddy shoots in pulses of 3. And if you are amplified, those attack rate, excuse me, is increased. You also gain increased class ability regen as long as you're nearby your teammates. Oh, and I lied because not only do you get an increase in rate of fire with Arc Buddy, but Arc Boy also shoots 5 shots instead of 3. Nice. That's something I noticed, but it's just free extra damage, so it's not like you think about it. Cool. Um, I almost never see a reason not to run this just because of the free damage and free class ability regen. Yeah. Alright. Electrostatic Mine, the other staple. Arc ability kills against enemies affected by arc effects. Alright, that's oddly specific, but yeah. We'll create an Ionic Trace. Ionic Traces now grant Amplified. The easiest way to look at this is your grenades will always proc Electrostatic Mine's ability to make an Ionic Trace if it's not on cooldown, because you should always be running Spark of Shock. I told you I'm going to say this every fucking time. You should be running Spark of Shock every time, which gives your grenades the ability to jolt. Bungie, this should be inherent behavior, and there's no reason that it should not be other than you were running out of fragment ideas, is my presumption. Anyways, um, yeah, this is staple because you grant amplification, and that ties well with the previous aspect we just talked about. It also enhances both of your melees, um, which we'll get to in just a minute. The red-headed stepchild of the aspects for Arc Warlock would be Lightning Surge. Run and slide, the basic melee applicators here. As long as you have a melee equipped, you run, you slide, press the melee button. Doing so will make you go underground. It kind of looks like you're surfing, which is pretty cool. And then you'll pop up and deal damage to nearby enemies. You will jolt the opponent, which is also really good, which does make it stronger in PvE for that fact alone. Even the damage numbers don't really matter that much. This is also a fragment on Prismatic, so expect more buffs if it does not land very well, which honestly I don't think it will, just because all the other stuff would be better than this. But yeah, Lightning Surge is cool. I just don't know how good it really is. I don't think it's as good as the previous aspects we just talked about. So yeah, if it was me and I was putting Prismatic together, there's no way I would have chose Lightning Surge. It's the point I'm trying to make. All right, now we move on to the melees that get buffed. So, ball lightning, you throw a ball of lightning. I know. Warlock just always gets the throwable melees. But anyways, apparently up to 35 meters away, that's wild. It will also blow up, like it strikes down toward enemies that are below it, so that helps. You don't have to hit them, you can throw it above their head. It helps when enemies are like behind the wall. Really good in PvP to sneak up on somebody with that. Yeah, just solid damage, so I like it. PvP and PvE actually, I almost always run this. But this is one of the few times where it's literal preference because both melees are good. While amplified, it will explode multiple times, which is good on like a boss or like a chunkier target because most red bars are gonna die after the first explosion. So yeah, as stated, I really like this one. This one's cool. It's my favorite one. Then you have chain melee, which does what it sounds like, or chain lightning, but whatever. Whenever you attack an opponent, well, first of all, attacking an opponent, you have increased range. This was a big thing in D1 as well. Very annoying in D1. Lightning will chain to enemies. I believe it does less damage to those enemies that it chains to, but it still does pretty good damage. It will jolt the enemy, and it will also chain to more enemies if you are amplified. I could have swore this thing amplified you as well, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, again, I like it. It's not terrible. It's like a bunch of ad clear for just punching one guy. That's pretty good. Yeah, and the jolt, the free jolt. Now, on to some supers. We have Chaos Reach, aka Kamehameha. I want to be Goku really bad. Yeah, that's it, really. You just kind of point this thing at whatever is bothering you and blow it the fuck up. If you hit the opponent enough times, it will proc jolt on them. This was a more recent application. This was to help its base damage, because the only time people would use this before would be if you had on its exotic namesake, Geomax stabilizers, which basically double, if not more, the Kamehameha duration, so you can beam struggle by yourself. I'm good at this. Anyways, if you deactivate the super quickly, then you can get a maximum of 30% of your super energy back, which is nice, actually. It used to pair into Geomat stabilizers because of the way it used to work, but it doesn't work that way anymore, so I won't get into it. No, I'm not sad about it. Moving on, we have Storm Trance. What the? We go. Yeah, we have Storm Trance. All right, so you have a light attack and a heavy attack. Heavy attack will make you blink. It does take super energy. The light attack, you can hold it down. The longer you hold it, the damage will increase more. Up to 50% at 3.33 seconds, which is an odd number, Bungie, whatever. Also, when you initially cast, you will throw lightning down on the ground, blind enemies that are below you, jolt enemies that are below you. Well, does it still blind? Well, I know it jolts. It might still blind, but honestly, I don't know. Don't ignore the blind part. I know it used to do that. And it deals a good amount of damage too. That is good enough in PvP to be a shutdown. So it's both a shutdown and a rolling super if done properly in PvP, which is nice. I'll let it play out. It's really good. But that's the problem with both of these supers. They're really good. There's a lot of other supers that are just kind of broken beyond belief, in comparison. So the only time I ever use this is to get this kind of footage, or to pair it with the helmet that you saw, which used to be my main, which was the only reason why I was using it. But now, nah. I mean, I barely play Arc Warlock, to be fair. I don't really play Arc anything other than Hunter sometimes. But yeah, that is all of the Warlock aspects, fragments, and super stuffs. So this is the final Arc video. Gonna get the Strand stuff out soon. 2 more days to final shape, so like I said, I'm gonna get it all out, working on it. Yeah, so I just don't make this too long. Later.